It's no wonder
Yeah.
that Donald Trump wants to drain the swamp, is it?
Yeah, it's
No.
horrible. It's just horrible. But the British Royal Navy come up to me and they say, we are absolutely sick of transporting the Queen's heroine around. That's all we do.
Yeah.
Hi YouTube. I think this clip shows that in these days of internet connectivity, it really doesn't matter how nutty you are. There is always an audience somewhere that will be excited by complete bullshit. Meet King John.
Hey guys, today I'm with Jack Kidd and we have the absolute pleasure to be joined today with Greg Hallett, the real King of England. Has a bunch of titles and fulfills all the predictions.
When Bill Clinton came to New Zealand, to Auckland, to the waterfront in April 2002, I put on a suit and walked in past 99 Secret Service agents and dogs. I actually walked up to the main security guard, right? And he said, I recognize you, sir, come in. And I had no ticket. And I didn't show a ticket, right? I was just invited in. So, you know, the US president was recognizing me back then in 2002. That stuff's happened to me a lot, you know, like, you know, I went to Moscow, interviewed the KGB.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, yeah, it happens a lot. So what it started when King George VI, Sergeant Surgeon, which, you know, Americans call doctor, but Sergeant Surgeon, and Queen Elizabeth II, Sergeant Surgeon, came out to New Zealand and met me. He used to walk down in his white suit and I used to meet him at the letterbox when I was like 5. Have a chat. He said, do architecture. And I said, okay, whatever that word is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been going on for a while, and it's just kept on going. And eventually, I was invited to decipher Queen Victoria's royal marks that she gave her firstborn legitimate son, Prince Marcos Manuel, to show that Prince Marcos Manuel was actually the King of England and the King of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and all Ireland. And then Queen Victoria actually wrote that in a letter on the 17th of March 1850. 17th of March is St. Patrick's Day. So that signified to include all Ireland. And then that letter was given to me 3 times. And it was blank, you couldn't see it. And then I got someone to do a high-level scanning. We did it in blue and we did it as a treasure map. And as a treasure map, it showed a blood thumbprint. And in the blue, it showed writing. And that writing was familiar French, which Queen Victoria wrote in. And it said, assemble and claim it. And then she signed it, Queen, Gothic Queen, Hanover, because Queen Victoria was married to King George V of Hanover. She was never actually married to Albert. That was a big mismarriage, and Albert was illegitimate. On Leap Day 2012, I was given the sword of the Duke of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, which is the true sword of the King of England. Queen doesn't have it. She's never handled it. We own it. Right? And we also own the caduceus to trade as the monarch of the UK. So Queen Elizabeth can't trade as a monarch because we own the caduceus. So what Eleanor of Aquitaine did through the Holy Grail teachings and myths and legends was actually predict the Holy Grail, right? And it turned out to be me, and my name Gregory Hallett is an anagram of Holy Grail. And Holy Grail, the Grail was written.
Wow.
The Grail was written Grael from Charlemagne to Joan of Arc, which is from 800 to 1431. So it still survives as the longest spelling of Grail until 2031. So Gregory Hallett is an anagram of Holy Grail, REGTT, which stands for Register the Two Jesuses. I've been just trying to raise some funds for the documents, you know, because actually legal documents are really expensive to do properly. So I'm raising £2,700, and I've pretty much got there in under 24 hours.
Well done.
You know, probably 12 hours. I'm sort of about two grand, which is great. And the current Pope Francis, he had the title Vicar of Christ, And when he started to receive my documents, he renounced his title of Vicar of Christ.
Really?
And Christ is automatically the King of England. So that was another of his acknowledgements that I was the King of England. That means that I own everything the Vatican does. So I'm currently the owner of the world.
Yeah.
So I ended up living in the cave and also being chosen to represent the end times. And then I also represented the New Age. And that was also the place that I toppled King Juan Carlos of Spain from. And then at the same time I was doing that, the Portuguese Navy came along in front of my cave and saluted me. Yeah, yeah.
Long live King John III.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's interesting what your sort of plan is for Ascension, and regarding registering the documents, presenting the documents, how long this might take.
People say, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And that's just like a way of not looking for the signs. And the Bible says, look for the signs, to see the signs. So the signs now are that we've had to move the legal documents from our website to Amazon S3 because we're getting 100,000 downloads a day on the documents. So what the beauty of that was, I'd send them to POTUS, their President Donald John Trump, and I'd send them to the Queen. So POTUS would get them a few days after the Queen, and he'd bring up the Queen or contact the Queen through, diplomatic channels and say, is this true? Is there any bit of it you want to deny? And she'd just be tight-lipped. She couldn't deny anything. So she went into hiding, and Trump just took over the British Empire until I move in. There has been an enormous amount of illegitimacy from Queen Victoria on. Like, her 9 children were all illegitimate. Edward VII was illegitimate. Prince Albert was illegitimate. Edward VII was illegitimate. George V was illegitimate. Queen Elizabeth is illegitimate. Prince Charles was born the royal runt. He was a child sex slave for Lord Louis Mountbatten, who was extorting them for their illegitimacy. Prince Andrew is the son of Lord Porchester, who was in the triumvirate, the heroin trafficking triumvirate. So the heroin trafficking triumvirate was Prince Philip, Lord Louis Mountbatten, Lord Porchester, and Lord Plunkett. Yeah. And they were trafficking heroin. And in order to keep Elizabeth quiet, Elizabeth was the heroin trafficking mole, and she would have children with the other people in the triumvirate to keep her quiet. What you've actually got in the illegitimate royal family that you've got now is a heroin trafficking unit with a whole lot of illegitimate children running around, and nothing royal about it whatsoever, and it's just a mafia.
It's no wonder that Donald Trump wants to drain the swamp, is it?
Yeah, it's no. Horrible. It's just horrible. But the British Royal Navy come up to me and they say, we are absolutely sick of transporting the Queen's heroin around. That's all we do.
Yeah.
No, just other than, I think the next step is we've got to somehow get to Buckingham Palace so we can prove all this up and get in the right rooms.
Yeah. No one living there. It's just been renovated for me, so I can just, drive through my carriage and wave, and everything's painted, and the palace is all done up. I shouldn't really say this, but confirmation yesterday, Royal Security came around and had a chat for 3 hours.
At your house?
Yeah. My ancestor, Queen Anne Boleyn, was a falconer, and she had a Merlin falcon, right?
Yeah.
And we're standing down there with the Royal Security and John and me having a chat there. And then the Merlin falcon is right there, 7 to 8 meters from where I'm sitting now. The Merlin was sitting in the tree watching us, Merlin falcon. And then after about an hour, it flew off. I mean, if that's not divine providence, what isn't,
That's incredible.
Right? And it flew into the house exactly a day after Notre Dame burnt down, right? And that was lit by Barack Obama with Michelle Obama watching. They destroyed Notre Dame. So I'm also making William abdicate, I'm also making Charles abdicate, and I'm also making Elizabeth abdicate, and I've also made Prince Andrew abdicate. Yeah, well, see, all these are markers. Like Diana was born 77 days before me, so 77 days after Diana, the Hamashiach's born, who's like the king of Israel, which is me. Brexit stands for British Royal Exit.
Yes.
Yeah, and Corona stands for We Crown Him. And when Diana was 33 days pregnant with Prince William, Queen Elizabeth II came to New Zealand and abdicated to me.
How did she do that?
Well, she was resisting abdicating to me, so she was shot at, and then she was given a severe case of diarrhea